Welcome to the Made for Business show where Catholic moms come to learn how to build a business that is simple, holy, and profitable. I am your host, Sterling Jakewith, and today we're talking about having a sainthood state. Okay. Your state is your emotions, the emotion that you are in while you are doing something. Okay. So there's a sainthood state, and then there's just not a sainthood state. I don't think we need to label are crazy. I don't think we need to ask, like, why am I acting like that? Where is that coming from? Is this spiritual attacks? I think there's just, am I in a sainthood state or am I not? And this is so much of the work that I do with my clients. I know y'all want to make more money. I know. I want to make more money. It's fun. It's fun to grow a business and make more money. But I'm telling you, the feeling your feelings and using that brilliant brain of yours to manage your emotions is how you are going to make more money. So let me explain this to you. Let me break down what a sainthood state is and why it keeps us from making money. So when you are in fear or scarcity, okay, and most commonly we're in fear and scarcity around time, around money, around childcare, or around knowledge. Like, ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough help with the kids. I don't know what I'm doing. Those are the big four. Okay. Sneaky five is like they just don't like me. They want what she has, but not what I have. Right. So maybe a scarcity of desire. I mean, you don't think that you're in demand. Okay. I'm going to do a whole episode next or in 2 episodes around believing that you're in demand. Okay. But when you think they don't want what you have, that is another form of scarcity. Okay. So in any of these forms, though, you're going to have a thought related to time, money, childcare, or knowing what to do. And it's going to lead to a yucky feeling. Okay. Some of you have anxiety, you feel anxious, might be panic. It's amazing how we can feel the feeling of panic being completely safe in our offices and our heated homes, but it's so real, that feeling of panic. For some of you, it leads to a feeling of being paralyzed. You just freeze. You just can't. Your brain just like fritzes out. Like you're sure there's some sparks in there. And it's like, and it's just not working. You shut down. For some of you, it leads to emotions that feel like depression, sadness, sorrow, shame, right? Those like low blue emotions, hopelessness. For some of you, it actually leads to anger, right? Let's use the childcare one, for example. Let's say you're very clear that God has called you to business. And so you're actually angry that you're like, all right, Lord, but then give me some help. I need help for my husband. I need to find a sitter. I need to get the kids into school. I need some help. And you feel angry that you don't have help. Okay. So these are some emotions that are completely common and they're not bad emotions. Remember, all our emotions just tell us what we're thinking, like what's going on with us, what we're believing. And then it's our job to just decide if those thoughts are true. Okay. And so all of those emotions are not a sainthood state, right? Saints do not walk around with fear or scarcity or anger or worry or deep sadness. Now, saints obviously experience those emotions in their lifetime, but we wouldn't say that those are the ideal sainthood emotions. The ideal sainthood emotions are peace, love, joy. I like conviction, focus, acceptance, surrender. These are all much softer feelings. The other ones all are kind of charged, right? Even the sad ones, there's like a charge there. But being in a sainthood state, it feels soft. Feels like we're just taking steps and we're walking towards the Lord. We're walking toward heaven. It's not a big deal. We're not up, we're not down. We're just kind of neutral. And so this is really important because if you are spending a great deal of time not in a sainthood state, you're spending it in one of these other emotions, okay, then you are not getting good work done. Or it's taking way too long to get the good work done. Okay, because just imagine you need to write 5 emails. And imagine trying to write 5 emails while you're anxious, 5 emails while you're in panic, 5 emails while you feel paralyzed, 5 emails while you feel sad, hopeless, ashamed. Right? You're not sitting down and just writing those emails from those emotions. Or what's worse is you are, but I promise you it's probably taking more time and the emails aren't very good. And the people reading those emails, they just feel that something is a little off. Your lack of safety will come through in your emails and it will just create a little bit of a lack of safety for them. And they won't want to take the next step. They may not even be able to articulate why. They'll just be like, maybe later, maybe next time. And so a lot of you are working really hard. Hey, I see it in masters, in those business clients, and in the society and the mastermind. Ladies, you are working so hard. You love the Lord. You love your kids. You are working so hard on your business. And so it just kills me when I'm watching you spend a lot of time not in a sainthood state. And so you're just expending all this extra energy and your work feels so hard. But the truth is, your thinking is just hard. It is really hard work to sit in your office for 4 straight hours telling yourself you don't know what to do and beating yourself up. That is exhausting. You will come out of your office feeling so tired. And sometimes if you're spending a lot of time not in a sainthood state, in one of these other emotions, and it's exhausting, then your subconscious brain will go, well, we don't even want more clients because we're already so tired. If we had more clients, how would we handle it? But the problem is not the actual work you need to do. It's the state, the emotional state that you're doing that work in. Okay? Because if you just wrote your emails from conviction, like if you sit down at your desk and you're like, God has called me to this work. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but I know that he's called me to this work and this person needs what I offer. And now I'm going to go write an email from that place. And I know God's going to bring me the people because he's called me to this work. So my job is just to write emails to find those people. Our emails don't find people. Our emails convert the people that we've already found. So you can think about it like that. Like, okay, there is a woman on this email list who needs what I have. And I'm writing just to her. And I'm going to trust the Lord to give me the words that she needs to hear. Now imagine how that email is going to feel to that person as opposed to how it feels when you're like, oh, I really need to make money, or I don't have enough time. Very different sounding emails or social media posts or your workbook. And this is why I really recommend to my clients, and we do so much work on understanding the tools that shift our state, because I want them to notice, hey, you're not in a sainthood state right now. Just stop working. We're not doing good work anyway. And then choose from one of the activities that we brainstormed. Shake it off. Feel your feelings. I don't ever deny my yucky feelings. I sit with them. I'm just like, hey, love, why are you feeling scared right now? Why do you feel panic? The other day I woke up and my brain was like, we're so behind. And that is just a thought that my brain offered to me. And so many of you just take all the thoughts in your brain and go, well, that must be true. But I didn't. I was like, behind what, brain? What? How are we behind? Or do you mean that we have not yet done what we thought we would do by now in the list that I created and I'm the only one who's going to look at it? Oh, we're doing just fine. We're exactly where we need to be. What's most important, right? I can calm my state. I can get clear and logical. I can just be a problem solver, solve whatever problem is in front of me. Then when I sit down, I just get to work. And listen, I have had days where I'm not managing my state and I'm all over the place. And then I usually come out of my office like a little bit frazzled, and a little bit, I don't know, like disappointed, or those are the days where I'm like, oh, it's not working, or I don't know what I'm doing, right? Those are the days I've just allowed my toddler brain to run the show. And it feels terrible and I'm tired. But when I take the time to manage my state, anchor to the Lord, understand this mission that He has for me, think of all of you, I'm like, these women need help. He's called them to something, and I have tools that will help them grow their business and stop wasting time. Then I just sit down and I'm focused. And that's when I put out sainthood level work too. Right? Those are often the emails when you guys just reply and go, that was a great email. I love when I get those replies. Like that the email was just so great that you just wanted to reply and tell me. That was a great email. You can bet I had managed my mind and I was in a sainthood state when I wrote it. And then I'm just moving through my to-do list. I'm answering emails. I'm checking in with people in Slack. I'm preparing quarter one workbook for masters, right? I'm having a meeting with my team. I'm just doing the things that I need to do. And my energy is at a good level, right? It's a flow state is another way that we describe that. And then when I'm done working, I feel energized even. I'm just like, woo, we crushed that day. Who wants me to read some books to them, right? Like I'm a happier mom. You can do this. You can get really good at recognizing, oop, I am not in a sainthood state right now. Stop working. Pray, go for a walk, drink some tea, do 10 jumping jacks, light a candle, right? I have my clients fill out 3 pages when they join the society, and we anchor back to those pages all the time. Remember what God has told you. Remember the plan that you made. Remember that when you do your work, when you are actually performing your craft, it feels great. How can we get back to that faster? And so if you're exhausted and you just feel like my business isn't working, I just want to offer to you that you're probably spending a great deal of time in some of these other emotions. And those emotions are trying to tell you something. They're telling you what you believe. But you don't have to believe that. You get to decide what you want to believe. You get to decide if the Lord called you, that you're just going to believe that He's going to bring you the resources and the clients when you need them. Then we shift into a sainthood state and we just get to work and we trust Him. Right? It's kind of like, think about the loaves and the fishes. And there was some guy who was like 2 guys down from Jesus, and his job was just to like keep passing the baskets. His job was not to sit there and worry about whether there was enough food. Right? I imagine the disciples who had been walking with Him to that point were like, he'll figure it out. And so then they were like, he's Jesus, He'll figure it out. And so they were just calm, and then they were just passing the baskets. Right? That's how we want to show up in our business. Just like He's called me, I know who I am. I know who my client is. I got to go talk to them. And then we're just putting our head down and doing the work and trusting him with the outcome. That is going to feel so much different. Your energetic experience of working is just going to feel so different. And you can make this change for free. That is my favorite thing. So I am hosting a business review and planning workshop on December 16th. And the only way that you can come is if you are part of Masters. And let me just tell you, I have been putting this thing together and it is a work of art. It is going to blow your mind. The questions that I'm going to ask you about the previous year are going to make you feel so confident that you had exactly the year you were supposed to have, that God was teaching you some very specific things, and that you learned so much. And I'm going to have you fill up a piece of paper with wins and lessons so much that you're actually going to smile thinking about all the things you did this year. Because remember, brains hate that. They really just want to tell you that you did a terrible job. You didn't hit any of your goals, right? Your brain is just looking for danger and it wants to get you to quit business so badly. And I'm going to help lead you back to those moments where you felt called by the Lord, back to those special moments where you were drawn to the type of work that you do. And then we're going to dissect the things that happened this year until you really understand why they had to happen and why all of those lessons that you learned mean that you are going to have an incredible 2023. That you are building the foundation for the business that you're going to have next year. Because business does not grow linearly, right? We don't grow a certain percentage every year. We grow based on the work that we do on our minds and our skills. And if you do a lot of mindset work and blow up your skills, you can blow up your business. You can explode your sales next year. And so if you're not in Masters, I want you to sign up for Masters. Okay, it is absolutely worth this one workshop. This one workshop is going to show you not only the lessons that you learned this year, but we are going to make a simple plan for next year. And what's amazing about the way that I do planning is that you're not going to look at it and feel that excitement, that like bubbly, big kind of false feeling that we often have when we're setting goals. Right? How many of us set goals and we're like, I'm going to make $1 million and I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to teach all the kids Latin, right? And we're just like, list all of these things. And then we have that like high feeling of like, yeah, but that's fake. Instead, the way I do planning, anchored in the Lord and his sainthood plan for you, you are going to come away from that workshop going, yeah, this is exactly what I'm going to do. This is exactly the plan that I'm going to follow. And you are just going to open that door to January with that quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you were called and having the conviction that this is exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, are we going to know everything that happens next year? No, but your plan will be so solid that it will account for the things that we don't know. And so I want you to come join me for this workshop. This is going to be the most powerful thing that I do this year in the program. It will be recorded so you can take it anytime. And I'm really putting a lot of quarterly planning in there too so that people can do this every quarter. And we're going to spend probably the first third reviewing last year and then the last 2/3 making a plan for next year. And let me tell you that doing this in a community of Catholic women is so refreshing because we will talk about the Lord. We will talk about the saints. We will talk about wanting to be good moms. We will talk about wanting to take care of our bodies and not sacrifice our health just to make money. And we're going to talk about doing business like saints from peace and conviction. So if you're not part of Masters, go to madeforgreatness.co, sign up. Everyone signs up with $1 trial. So I don't see any reason not to do it. And you can decide whether you want to join monthly, quarterly, or annually. And I think it's worth signing up just for this workshop. And then when you get in there, I have lots of business videos and I will coach you on your business in Slack, and I do live coaching every other week. But again, this one workshop is so beautiful. It's so elegant. It's so powerful. And I want all of you to know exactly why you got the results you got this year and exactly how, step by step, to get the results that you want next year. And having a plan, a really clear plan, is what helps you to sit down at your desk, get in that sainthood state, and just get to work, right? That's what we're shooting for. We just want to sit down and be in flow and do the work of the Lord and then leave when our workday is done and go be with our families. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that by having a simple plan that we create in this workshop. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I love you. I'm praying for you. I am in the trenches with you. Business is not for the faint of heart, but we are doing it. And we're doing it for the Lord. And we are showing our children what it looks like to be women who discern the will of God and who are obedient even when it looks hard. We are showing them what it looks like to really surrender the outcome of things to the Lord and trust that He will provide. I think that is such a beautiful thing, and I think we can be so proud of that. Thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.